A salmon's greatest victory begins with swimming the wrong way. While almost every current pushes downstream, this fish turns around, fights the river, and spends every last drop of energy reaching the place where its life first began. That sounds almost impossible, yet millions of salmon repeat this journey every year. And the incredible part is that this famous migration is only one chapter of a much bigger story. Hidden beneath the water is a body built like a biological masterpiece, and a life cycle that quietly supports forests, rivers, wildlife, and even people. So how can one fish shape entire ecosystems simply by living its life? Everything starts with tiny eggs buried beneath gravel in cold, oxygen-rich streams. A female salmon uses powerful movements of her tail to dig a shallow nest called a redd. She lays thousands of eggs, while a male releases sperm to fertilize them. Then she carefully covers the eggs with fresh gravel. It looks simple, but that layer of stones is a carefully chosen nursery. Water flows through the gaps, delivering oxygen while protecting the eggs from many predators. Weeks later, depending on species and water temperature, the eggs hatch into tiny fish called alevins. These babies are not ready to swim freely yet. They still carry a bright orange yolk sac beneath their bodies. Think of it as a built-in lunchbox. Instead of searching for food, they survive on stored nutrients while hiding safely between the rocks. Nature basically says, stay home until you're ready. Once the yolk sac disappears, the young fish become fry. Now the real adventure begins. They leave the gravel and start feeding on insects, tiny crustaceans, and microscopic organisms drifting in the current. At this stage, every shadow could mean danger. Birds, larger fish, and even mammals see fry as an easy meal. Survival depends on quick reactions and finding shelter among plants, roots, and stones. As they grow, many salmon enter the parr stage. Their bodies develop dark vertical bars along the sides. These markings act like natural camouflage, helping them blend with rippling light and underwater vegetation. It's less about fashion and more about not becoming someone's lunch. Then something remarkable happens. Before heading toward the ocean, many species transform into smolts. Their striped camouflage fades into a bright silver color. Inside their bodies, even bigger changes are happening. Their gills, kidneys, and hormone systems prepare for a completely different world. Freshwater and seawater handle salt very differently, so the fish must literally reprogram parts of its body before entering the ocean. Imagine changing from breathing mountain air to living on a tropical island overnight. That's the level of adjustment we're talking about. The ocean becomes a giant buffet. Here salmon feed on fish, squid, krill, and other marine animals. Food is plentiful compared with many rivers, allowing rapid growth. Depending on the species, they may spend 1 to several years at sea. During this time, they transform from vulnerable juveniles into strong, muscular swimmers capable of crossing enormous distances. Now let's look at the body that makes all this possible. A salmon has a streamlined shape that slices through water with surprisingly little resistance. Every curve reduces drag. Instead of fighting water, the fish flows through it. Engineers designing efficient vehicles often borrow ideas from aquatic animals because nature has spent millions of years solving these problems already. Its skeleton provides support while remaining flexible enough for powerful swimming. Large muscles along both sides of the body generate the familiar wave-like motion. Rather than pushing with only the tail, the entire body joins the effort, creating efficient forward movement. The tail fin supplies most of the thrust. Each sweep propels the fish ahead, while the dorsal fin and anal fin help stabilize the body. The paired pectoral and pelvic fins work like steering controls, allowing precise turns and balance. It's surprisingly similar to how an airplane uses different control surfaces for stability and direction. One hidden advantage is the lateral line. This sensory system runs along both sides of the body, detecting tiny vibrations and pressure changes in the surrounding water. It allows salmon to sense nearby objects, predators, prey, and even changes in water movement without relying only on vision. Imagine feeling someone walk into the room without seeing or hearing them. That's the kind of information this system provides. Their gills perform 2 essential jobs. They extract oxygen from water and release carbon dioxide. During migration, healthy gills become especially important because swimming upstream demands tremendous amounts of oxygen. Some salmon travel hundreds or even thousands of kilometers before reaching their spawning grounds. Another fascinating feature is their sense of smell. Salmon are famous for returning to the streams where they were born. Scientists believe they use multiple navigation cues, including Earth's magnetic field during ocean travel, and highly developed smell, to recognize the chemical signature of their home river during the final stages of migration. It's less like following a street address, and more like recognizing one unique scent among countless others. As spawning season approaches, many salmon change dramatically. Males of several species may develop hooked jaws, called kypes, and brighter colors. These changes help during competition for mates, but also signal that the final chapter of their life is approaching. For many Pacific salmon species, spawning happens only once. After reproducing, they die. Atlantic salmon are different because some individuals survive spawning and may reproduce again, although many still face enormous challenges afterward. At first, that ending seems incredibly sad. Why would nature design such a costly strategy? The answer stretches far beyond the fish itself. When salmon return from the ocean, they carry nutrients gathered from marine ecosystems. After spawning, their bodies decompose in and around rivers. Those nutrients feed insects, fungi, plants, and microorganisms. Trees growing near salmon streams often benefit from this natural fertilizer. In a surprising way, ocean nutrients end up inside forest leaves. The impact doesn't stop there. Bears, wolves, eagles, foxes, otters, and countless other animals depend on salmon as seasonal food. Some predators even drag fish into the forest, spreading nutrients farther from the riverbanks. A single migration becomes a giant food delivery system, connecting ocean, freshwater, and land. People benefit too. Salmon provide an important source of protein and healthy fats, including omega-3 fatty acids. They support commercial fisheries, recreational fishing, and cultural traditions for many indigenous communities, whose histories and livelihoods have long been connected with salmon rivers. Salmon also act as environmental indicators. Because they need clean, cool, oxygen-rich water at different stages of life, healthy salmon populations often signal healthier aquatic ecosystems. When salmon numbers decline, it can warn scientists and conservationists that rivers, migration routes, or ocean conditions may be changing. Of course, salmon face serious challenges. Habitat loss, dams that block migration, pollution, warming waters, and changing ocean conditions can all reduce survival. Many regions have invested in habitat restoration, fish passages around dams, and conservation programs to help protect these remarkable fish. Success varies by location and species, but every healthy river improves their chances. The next time you see a salmon leaping against a waterfall, remember that you're not watching a random burst of determination. You're witnessing the final step of a journey that began as a tiny egg beneath gravel, continued through rivers and oceans, and returned carrying nutrients that will feed an entire ecosystem. Its streamlined body, sensitive senses, and extraordinary migration are not isolated wonders. Together, they create one of nature's most powerful cycles, proving that sometimes the greatest strength isn't swimming with the current. It's knowing exactly where you need to go, even when the river says otherwise.